Boys, we got some good news. Dr. Fauci himself has just given us the okay to risk it for the biscuit and find ourselves a good old-fashioned Tinder date. Now, for most of us stuck in the house, still looking for a quarantine bae, this is music to our ears. And if you're finding yourself on Tinder at this particular moment, trust me, you're not alone. In fact, dating app usage, Tinder, Bumble, Grindr has skyrocketed during these quarantine times as we're all bored in the house bored. So in today's video, I'm going to be explaining exactly how Tinder's algorithm works. In the video title, I'm sure I'll put something like how to exploit the Tinder algorithm to get 1 million matches, but don't necessarily consider this video a how to get more matches on Tinder video. Instead, I'm simply going to be explaining the Tinder algorithm as best I can, and then you can choose to use that knowledge to get more matches. I am by no means a Tinder guru. I can't teach you how to take sexy shirtless selfies. I can't teach you how to pose with a dog or how to lie about yourself in the sexiest way in your bio. This is not that video. Instead, I am a social media consultant and I'm a total nerd for social media algorithms. And that's what I see Tinder as, a social media platform. So in today's video, that's the angle that we're going to take. So with that being said, let's roll the intro and
let's talk Tinder, baby.
welcome back to my channel. You're now rocking with the best. My name is Bobby, the Influencer CEO, and this is the channel where we help you build, influence, and start your movement online. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please consider subscribing to this channel and liking this video and helping us out within the YouTube algorithm. And speaking of algorithms, today we're going to be talking about the Tinder algorithm. However, we're usually going over all the up-to-date social media news, and I'm usually giving you Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, you name it, tutorials to help you blow up online. So if you like this video, please stick around for that. All right, so before we talk about Tinder's algorithm and how it works, let's talk about some of the misconceptions that people have. Well, a lot of people think there's an ugly score or a hotness score that Tinder assigns people. It's called the ELO rating, and it's actually something Tinder used to use. So according to this article right here on Swipe Helper, and before I even talk about this, I think it's so funny, this huge ecosystem of people who sell advice on how to get matches on Tinder that has kind of occurred. I see people selling me, Tinder courses and send the best DMs. I just think that's funny. So anyways, that's what this website must be based upon, helping you get more swipes on Tinder. But this is what they said. They say that Tinder's algorithm works by assigning you a desirability score. It assigns to you based on number of factors, determines whose profile you're shown to and whom your profile is shown and how prominently. Thereby, it very much affects with whom you even have the possibility of matching. I mean, what does this even mean? Does it think that it matches fatties with fatties, redheads with redheads? I don't know, sixes with sixes. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is the kind of disinformation that's out there. So let's see how it describes the desirability score. So the desirability score, or just score, the algorithm assigns to you used to be the main factor in how many and which people your profile would be shown to and vice versa. The following ELO rating system nowadays plays a subordinate role, but Tinder's explanation into the matter is now withstanding. So the factors by which Tinder algorithm decides who get to see your profile. Image recognition. This piece of software supposedly recognizes what's going on in an image and likely contributes to the Tinder's profiling efforts by supplying information such as this user likes people who are playing guitar in their photos. Could be, I mean, come on, I don't want to believe that there's a piece of software here that, like there's just some robot behind a computer going,
ugly, ugly, ugly. Dime.
Like there's no way that that's possible. So Tinder themselves have said that this is not true right here. And now Tinder has actually gone out there and they have given us the algorithm, the method behind the madness of how they actually pair people to Tinder. So I'm going to briefly read over this and then I'm going to explain to you exactly what this means. So the whole reason Tinder wrote this article right here explaining the algorithm is because of disinformation like that. People saying that there's a desirability score, people saying that I'm ugly. You're only matching me with ugly people. You know, all of these crazy things are being said. So Tinder actually responded and gave us information on the algorithm. And that's what this is right here. The article reads, we're constantly asked about Tinder's algorithm. How are recommended profiles ordered and why? And is there a game to the system? And is there really something called an ELO score, AKA
the fatty meter.
what really matters. Allow us to blow your mind. The most important factor that can help you improve your match potential on Tinder is using the app. We prioritize potential matches who are active and active at the same time. We don't want to waste your time showing you the profiles of inactive users. And I want you guys to really take note of these two lines because that's what we're going to be discussing about. Somewhere here it says that if you swipe and you keep swiping, eventually you'll see everybody. So it does not hide your profile for anybody. All right, now let's get to the part where I actually explain how the algorithm works. Now, in the past, I'd actually read an incredibly detailed study on the algorithm, which basically confirmed the viewpoint that I had. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find it, so I'm kind of going to go off the cuff here. But what I'm going to start with is I'm going to reread this first sentence for you that was written by Tinder themselves. So what they say is we prioritize potential matches who are active and active at the same time. Now, what they don't say is we prioritize active members who are men, okay? Why? Men and women are treated incredibly different on Tinder. And in fact, men, women, and older men are treated completely different on Tinder. You have to keep that in mind as well. I remember when my dad joined Tinder 2 years ago, my dad got on Tinder, like father, like son, right? And they were charging him like $40. And when the price of Tinder for a younger person was like 20 at the time, right? So there's even a different algorithm for older men than there is younger men, which is completely ridiculous. But it also goes to show you the insight that there's a completely different algorithm for women as well. Why? Why does Tinder prioritize men, women, and older men differently? Well, they all act differently and they were all a different type of user. Now, Tinder was the most profitable app of 2019. I mean, think about all the apps. Tinder smoked them out the water with as much money as they make. And these guys really don't have much overhead. When you pay $30 for gold, what are you really paying for that costs them money to acquire you? What are you really paying for, right? So to be successful in the dating world, you need to have the most popular commodity, the gold of the dating world, which is women. And for reference, an app like Ashley Madison, which I know isn't a really similar app, it's an app for men to cheat on their wives. I really think that's the premise of it. But it turned out around 60% of the women on that platform were completely fake and made up by Ashley Madison to pump up the numbers and make it look like there were more women than there actually were on the platform. And I mean, you can't really blame them because that's how hard it is to get women to join these type of dating apps, right? So Tinder wants to make this user experience as best as possible for the woman because men and women have different habits when it comes to engaging on the platform. Men will swipe, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but let's say men swipe right or left. I don't forget which one is the good one. Men will just swipe on the good one 10 out of 40 times. Women will do 1 out of 40. So imagine that a woman who was hard enough to get on the app in the first place, who is a much smaller, more desirable pool, matches with somebody and she gets no response. You don't DM her, you match, and then you do not communicate with her at all. That's a negative experience, and that's going to lead her to get off the app. So with that in mind, that's a little forethought for us, is that this app is catered for women. What does that mean for you? It means that Tinder prioritizes active users. Here's what they want from you. You're going to get much more matches on Tinder if you swipe, not just once, but all throughout the day. It means you're swiping in the morning, you're taking a I shouldn't have cussed. YouTube demonetizes cussing. You're taking a poo-poo. Swiping at night, you're swiping. They want users who are active at multiple times during the day. That's one of the first key factors that they use to rank your profile. Another thing that they use to rank your profile is how often you swipe. They don't want somebody who is swiping yes to every single woman. Why? That's going to decrease the chance that you actually message them. Let's say that you even do message all of those swipes that you get, the chance that you'll actually share your phone number is even less. So it means be picky when you swipe. And then the last thing is, of course, sending messages to each match that you get. And then there's also a bunch of little things that help determine your ranking in the algorithm as well. Tinder actually tracks how often or when you give your phone number app. In fact, I think there's a new feature where you can literally press a button and it'll share your contact, your SMS or your Instagram contact right there. Tinder tracks that. And here's the thing about Tinder, there is no privacy. I think Tinder's on the record where they will actually record all of your conversations. And even I think I'm gonna have to Google this. I might cut this part out, but I think I read an article where Tinder would match people who didn't even swipe on each other just as a social experiment. So they're even messing with you, right? Just to clarify, Tinder's algorithm completely prioritizes women, and it also prioritizes active men who are most likely to serve those women, AKA be good matches. So it means if you want to get more matches on Tinder, you need to swipe less frequently. You need to be more active during the day, and you need to send a message to each one of your new followers. You might have already experienced this. Now, when you first download Tinder, you delete it and you re-download Tinder, you may notice this for yourself. You get a lot more matches in the first 3 days than you do in the first 2 weeks or month or existence of being on the app. Me, myself, when I re-downloaded the app the other day because I deleted it and re-downloaded it, I got around 300 matches within the first 2 days, like 100 matches within the first day. And that's simply because Tinder has yet to categorize my profile as a hyperactive or a hyper inactive profile. That's it for today's video. Hopefully I gave you some value and a better insight into the Tinder algorithm. If you want me to make a part 2 where I specifically dive into the statistics and give a reasoning behind the statistics, I'd be more than happy to do so. If you like this video at all, please like it. Helps us within the algorithm, helps us within the YouTube ecosystem. And if you're at all interested at social media, growing on social media news, and all that good stuff, make sure to subscribe to this channel. My name is Bobby, the Influencer CEO. Might as well say it one more time. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.